morning I've been listening to whole lot of industry leaders speaking about what's happening in this industry, particularly in India, the stress upon mid-sized market, how this is a big opportunity lying ahead. From you, I want to know what are some of the capital trends. I mean, you understand that well. Tell us what are some of the segments that's attracting investors.
It's very interesting what's happening in hospitality currently. I would say for last 2 years, people were talking about asset-light strategies in which they would not be putting in capital, but fueling growth for themselves. Because of the growth that this sector has witnessed, a lot of capital-heavy investors are now excited about the sector, and they would want to deploy capital, which will work very well for asset-light growth operators. So from that perspective, I guess it's an interesting situation where there are people who want to grow without putting in capital. There are people who want to put in capital. Also, what has happened is, an example of that is nearly half a dozen companies have been listed in stock exchange in India, either over last 2 years or about to be listed. That itself will fuel huge growth. And from my perspective, what I see, this sector growth will continue. There will be enough capital which will be provided, as well as asset-light operators will continue to grow strong.
If you can, just add to specific gaps or some opportunities you see. You touched upon right sizing of assets. If you can touch upon what are some of the gaps you see and what are some of the opportunities you see.
So also what has happened is, because of the capital being available, right, the focus is now on tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And within those tier 2 and tier 3 cities, the development is happening in the upscale as well as mid-scale segment. So from my perspective, capital as well as operators will continue to chase tier 1, tier 2 as well as tier 3 cities. Earlier, there was lack of availability of capital for tier 2 and tier 3. Now, however, with what hospitality has demonstrated, we believe a lot of capital will go where the actual requirement of capital is, the need of capital is. So tier 2 and tier 3 will witness the majority of flux of the capital, and within that, mid-scale and upper upscale segment will benefit the most.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank
it was
you.
really,
Pleasure.
really
Pleasure
meaningful
being
and
here.
insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you.